So you want to be a PR girl or have a PR team, but you don't know what any of that means? Stay with me because I'm going to talk all things PR. And I'll tell you a secret to how you can definitely get picked for a PR team. So PR girl is a word that gets passed around a lot in the online planner community. A lot of people don't even know what it means. The PR stands for public relations. What that means is that the people who are on the PR team help the merchandise or the shop, the business, to relate to the community. It's a mutually beneficial relationship because generally the PR girl either gets free merchandise or discounted merchandise in exchange for starting relationships with the customers or the audience. So people who have never seen these products will see them because the PR girl makes a special effort to show off the products, to give reviews on the products, and generate sales. And the perks for the company that has the PR team is that a lot more people will see your products than would have seen it, or will see your sales than would have seen it if you just posted. So the perks and rewards for a PR girl are generally that you get a discount or you get a credit for free product. Sometimes, depending on the relationship with the shop, they might just send you things. I have a couple shops that will just send me what they want to be promoted, and I actually love that because I don't have to think about it, and I'll just get projects in mind to use those things. There's also opportunities where they will offer you money or a commission based on sales. So whatever sales that came through using your code, they'll give you 10% and they'll put it on your PayPal. A lot of them, because they're spending more than, or they're sending you more than $600 a year, will send you a W-9 because it counts as income for tax purposes. So you just have to file your taxes as an independent contractor. Some of these shops will give you a coupon code that's a greater value than the code that your followers have, which I think is really important. If I am going to be able to get 20% off and I'm offering 20% off, what's the point of me being a PR girl? But if I can get 40% off or 50% off, I'm more likely to want to be on that team because I can see the benefit to working hard. If you're a business, a PR team could be very beneficial, especially when you're starting out, to help get the word out about your shop. When PR girls have a large following, that's a large amount of people that get to see your products that wouldn't have otherwise. I knew I wanted to be a PR girl when I started seeing other PR posts. I would see people say, hey, I'm representing this shop, and I thought, man, that's so special to get to represent a shop. That's something that I wanted to do. Because I do business branding, because I'm a designer for business brands, and I do a lot of marketing with these businesses, it seemed like a really smooth transition. I'm already marketing, I'm already working with women, small-owned businesses, so it would be easy for me to use all those tactics that I've learned and am already employing to help these other businesses to help businesses in the planner community to grow so that they can gain sales. When I was starting out, I felt inadequate. My Instagram feed didn't have a lot of posts on it. I just didn't have the habit of posting very often, so I knew I had to increase my posts in order to get accepted on teams. You want to make sure your feed has a lot of engagement as well. So ask people questions, get people talking on your feed. Just having a lot of likes doesn't necessarily translate to sales. So sometimes it does, but if you really want to have people purchase things because you like them, tell them why you like them, ask them questions, and then when they ask back, tell them, hey, this is where you can get it. When the shops see that, they'll know that you would make a really good PR girl. So some of the requirements for being on a PR team are you have to have a following somewhere, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever you're using for social media. If you want to be an influencer, you have to be influencing people. So usually what the businesses will do is ask you how many followers, or they'll ask you where are your social media avenues that you're using so they can go and look and see what followers you have. Also, the type of post that you're posting really help them see if you'd be a good fit for them. So if you are posting spreads, if you're posting hauls, if you're posting things that people look at, hey, this is what she buys, I would like to have it too, that's somebody who would make a good PR girl. So if you're always posting your kids or your dogs and people just feel like they get a sense of you, but they don't want to shop with you. Blech. Don't say that. Okay. So when you're representing a shop, you have to make sure that you have a persona that shop will align themselves with. You have to be careful with too many political posts or too much. You have to be careful with too many political posts or be careful. So if you want to be a PR girl, what you have to do is one of two things. One is to fill out an application when they have an open call. They usually will have an online form that you can fill out, or they'll ask you to send an email and explain to them why you think you will be a good fit. The other one is something that I did for my very first PR team, and that's to reach out to the shop. I reached out to a shop that I had bought things from often. I loved her things. I thought her prices were really great. And I explained that to her. I also gave her some tips about just like her Etsy shop and shipping. And she said, you know what, I'm going to send you some free things. And I was like, oh, that's great. So then after that, I asked her, could I be a PR girl for you? And she said, I've never had a PR girl. I don't know what that means, but sure, I'd love it. I'd need some advertising. So I guess it's kind of like cold calling, but a shop that you already love, that you have a relationship with, is also a good way to just ask, could I be on your PR team? So the best advice I can give you for applying is to go ahead and type out why you love planning, why you think you'd be a good PR girl, why do you think that you can do something different, or what is it that you can do that's different and unique that you can bring to this business. Go ahead and just have that either in an email or a file on your computer, so that every time you have to go fill it out, you just have to copy and paste and tweak it a little bit. I found that as I was applying, I kept typing the same things over, and it was a lot to keep thinking about. So once I made a template, it was easy for me to adjust it when you're doing multiple applications. And then when you're filling out the application, you really have to be yourself. I know that's a really hard thing to say, but if you come across as, I would be so great, I'm so wonderful, this is all the things I do, and they look at your post and it doesn't match, it seems deceitful. They're not going to feel like you would be a good fit. Because there are a lot of people who are trying to join PR teams just because they want free stuff. So they want to make sure that you're somebody who's going to really love their products, that you're going to use their products, and that people are looking at your posts. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of engagement on your posts too. People liking, people commenting, a lot of conversation that's happening, because just having likes isn't going to. So my advice for being selected for a team really depends on the shop. Some shops really like to see spreads. So if you post a lot of spreads, they're more than likely going to pick you. Some shops like to have a lot of sales ads posts. So if you're willing to share sales and promotions and $2 Tuesdays all the time, then they're more likely to pick you. Maybe they want to see more unique ways of using their items because they already have people using them in a particular way, so show them that you can do things differently. But really having good, high quality photos, it doesn't have to be with a professional camera, it just needs to be well lit, it just needs to be clear. Having a good photo is what's going to really show them that you can show off their products. If your pictures are always dark and blurry, or if you hardly ever post, then they're going to not see the potential in having a good PR relationship with you. I think the biggest misconception about being a PR girl is that you're just going to get a bunch of free stuff. It's not true at all. I do get free things, but a lot of the times what the shop owner will give me is a credit, and then when I pick out the things that I want, because I really like the shop anyway, I'm going to spend more than that credit, so I'm going to spend money. Or they'll give you a credit, but then you have to spend money on shipping. Or they'll give you the item for free, but if it's a printable shop, then you have to spend the money to print it or spend the money for the paper. And it is work. It's a big misconception that it's just doing what you're already doing and it's just regular posting and fun. It's not. You have to make the effort to post it in a way that somebody's going to want to buy it. to post regularly and not just post it in one place. You often have to post it on multiple avenues of social media or make a video on YouTube. So that's work. I really thought that if I'm already doing spreads, me just using products that I'm already using would be no big deal. But there's a commitment to how many times you really should be posting to keep up with getting the rewards or the perks from this team. So sometimes it's overwhelming to have to make 2 posts a week, even 1 post a week using that product or using that company's products, because sometimes the weeks get busy and you realize, oh no, I haven't made a post and I have to hurry up and fit one in. You have to be careful with getting too much into planner drama and gossip, or sometimes too much political posts, or even having I want to say obscene language or having profanity. So because that shop wants to have a professional image, you may not fit with them. And if having your own voice and being able to express yourself is important to you, then by all means keep doing it. Just understand that there are shops that may not want to work with you for that reason. I have been rejected from many a PR team, and at first it didn't bother me because I knew I don't have a lot posted. I'm not very active on Instagram, so I can understand why they didn't pick me. But then after a while, I felt like, hey, I'm working really hard at this. Why would they not pick me? And then I would look at the people who did get chosen and look at their page, and I would think, hey, they're not doing nearly half of what I'm doing. So this doesn't make any sense to me. Why would they get chosen? Especially people who had less followers than me. And I learned that envy wasn't going to benefit me at all, so I really needed to dismiss it. And I learned my lesson. I don't get as emotionally involved anymore. I would get depressed and get sad because I didn't get chosen, like really heartbroken. And I think that while these are feelings that would happen normally for imperfect women, that we really have to work to combat this. So if you don't get chosen, don't worry about it. It's okay. Maybe that wasn't the right company or that wasn't the right time for you, and then just keep working at making yourself more appealing so that the next time that an application comes around, you'll be ready for it. When you're doing PR, you have to pay attention to how you post. You have to post in a way that's going to make somebody want to buy this. I try not to make my feed look too salesy, because if I'm just posting ads or if I'm only posting buy this, buy this, buy this, I feel like that's annoying to my followers and they're going to unfollow me, especially because the purpose for my Instagram is really more to help people, to give them tips and tricks and tutorials, not so much to sell them on things. And I think that people can really read through if you're always posting, hey, use this is great, buy this, but they never see you use the products. They only see you post it when you're opening the package, or they only see you post sales ads, but they never see them on your spreads. That really seems deceitful, like you're just trying to get sales, but it's not really something that is valuable to you. And one of the things that's difficult is you're expected to behave a certain way because you're representing them, but you can't always control how the shop behaves. So if people come to you or comment on their page because they're unhappy that they haven't gotten their order or their order wasn't correct, they really look to you because you're an extension of that shop to help solve that problem. Sometimes it can be really sticky with how do I respond. You don't want to tarnish your reputation by throwing the shop under the bus or by working with shops that have consistent problems, because life happens. There's going to be some issue, but if the shop is constantly having problems and they get a bad name and you're working with them, you get the bad name too. So that's a bit sticky. You just really have to do your research for knowing that the company you're choosing to work with has a good reputation, and make sure that you have a professional response and a good relationship with that shop, so that if somebody comes to you, you can tell them, hey, this is what's going on, and you can work together to get it rectified. So if you're a shop, I can tell you, based off of how teams were run, the best way to run your shop, in my opinion, is good communication. I don't really like it if I've never talked to you, if you just send me codes or send me assignments. I really want to talk to the shop owner. I want to have a relationship with them. I want to feel like this is my friend and I'm helping her with her sales. So having the members on your team really feel like they're a team, feel like they're working together, I think is important to having a successful team. Also, good communication between your PR members. I've been on teams where it felt like a competition because only one of you can post in this Facebook group, and so it's a fight to see who's going to post first. And if you didn't, too bad, you didn't get exposure, you didn't get credit for posting, and then you've got to figure out where else are you going to post. So helping the members on your team to really feel like they're a team, I think, is really important. When it comes to credits, I don't think you should give everything away if it's not benefiting you. I think sometimes just giving me a credit to shop on, just giving me like $20 that I can pick out what I want is great. And also sending me what you really need to be promoted. Maybe it's your new items or something that doesn't get enough exposure. Send me those items. But I don't feel like I need to have 50% off unlimited. But I don't think you should give away your items to somebody who's not getting you sales or exposure. If they're having people maybe not make that purchase, but they're talking about your shop, then that's beneficial to you. But if it's not beneficial to you, I don't think you should put yourself out financially. Maybe you need a smaller team. Maybe you need to revise who's on your team. I've had shops track my PR posts in a couple of different ways. One, which I think was my favorite, was that after I make a post, I take a screenshot of it and then I upload it into an album in our Facebook group and then just show them these are the places I post and they can see how many posts I've done. Another one was you had to tag somebody every time you post it, which I didn't necessarily like. I felt like it made my post not so pretty, and I felt like Big Brother was always watching. I don't know, that just wasn't the right fit for me. Doesn't mean it's not okay for somebody else. And then another one is to really just trust your team to make their post. But I do feel like that's extra work on your part for you to have to check behind your team all the time to make sure that they're making the post that they've committed to, in addition to running your shop, in addition to running your life. So I think the best method was to allow them to just upload their own photos. If they didn't upload it, that was on them. But if they upload their own photos, then you can just glance and see who's being really active in your PR team. One of the other perks that a shop did was for every time you posted, they gave you a 50-cent credit. So if you got 20 posts, then they would send you a $10 credit that you can spend in the shop. And I really love that. I felt like it was nice to get paid per post. It's just an option. It's not something that's necessary, but I did like that. So I really like to know how many sales I'm having. I like to know that the work I'm doing is working, that it's beneficial to the business, that I'm not just wasting my time posting these things. So I'm always asking, how many sales did I get? Am I getting sales? I really want to know that. That's the motivation that feeds me. However, I don't think you should force other people to be competitive by seeing other people's sales. So I was on a team I'm no longer with, and they would post every week, these are all the people, this is how many sales they got. And it really bred a competitive spirit, especially when women already can be kind of competitive. It caused a lot of envy and jealousy by seeing, hey, so-and-so's getting all these sales and I'm not getting any. And I can see that that person who was getting the most sales really became an outcast in the group because people were jealous of her, and that's kind of the mean girl mentality that I think we all have inside of us just a little bit. Knowing that about myself, I seeked to combat that right away, and I befriended her before I could even become jealous of her, and I found out that she was just a really wonderful, sweet person, and she was working hard just like everyone else. She just happened to have a right kind of followers that were wanting to buy the things that she was promoting. So I would really encourage you, if you're going to host the PR team, to make sure that it's not a competitive spirit, that it's a friendly spirit, and I think that your business benefits in the long run. You want to know my secret to definitely be on a PR team? So my secret to getting on the team that you really, really want is to become their biggest fan. Comment on all their pictures about how much you like everything that they're putting out, make some purchases, and then use those products. Show them, hey, if I were your PR girl, you would have beautiful posts like this to show off. and really show them like, wow, this person loves what I have, this person is showing them off in a great way, this person would be a great PR person, then you can either reach out to them or fill out their application, and they're sure to know that you're a good fit because you've kind of already auditioned for the job, not just applied and told them, hey, I can do it. You've shown them I can really do it. That's how I've gotten to be on a few of my PR teams, which I like that better because they're teams that I really wanted to be on. They're shops that I loved their products. I already used them. And so it's an easy fit for me to advertise it versus trying to force something that is new to me or that is not something that I would have really used anyway. There's been times where I've had to turn down being on teams that I really wanted to be on just because I knew I just couldn't make the time commitment. If I've already committed to doing 2 and 3 posts for 3 other companies that same week, I don't have time to do 2 posts for you and keep up with everything else I have to do. So I've learned that I can't say yes to everyone, and it was really hard because I really wanted to help, especially when it was a company that I really liked, but I learned that I had to be balanced. One of the things that I do like to do, if I can't commit to the time for doing PR, I will tell you, hey, if you either send me something or if I can use the products that I've already purchased, I will definitely promote them as often as I can. And then instead of me being an official PR girl and having a code, just give me a code that I can offer to followers, and that will help get sales. And that's been kind of something that I had to learn the hard way, but really beneficial for me and for the shop. So I feel like I covered a lot. I probably didn't cover everything about PR. If you have more questions or something else you want me to cover, drop it in the comments below. I want to address it for you. And also, if you aspire to be on a PR team, but you feel like I don't know where to find the open call or find people asking, definitely send me a message, because what I will do is when I see the open call come out on Instagram, I'll send it to you. I have a number of people who I do that to. Every time I see somebody's looking, I'll send them the link so that they can apply, and hopefully your dreams of being on a PR can come true. So thanks for watching. Bye, friends.
If you'd like more tips and inspiration on how you can be a better me too, subscribe here on YouTube and follow me on Instagram at the links below.